Oh my God, he's so strong. So welcome back to Starkey Farmstead, folks. All right, I'm furious. I'm so angry right now. Like, I am mad. First off, what is this? You're flying Mexican flags in the middle of a riot. And I'm sick of the liberal news media. Let me tell you what they're doing. They are prepping the news for 30 years from now when they demand reparations for illegal undocumented citizens during this period of unrest.
Full amnesty for all immigrants. Demand full compensation for all of the victims of this criminal injustice system.
What's going to change this is organizing, and not just any type of organizing, militant organizing.
You think I'm joking? Listen to me now. If you've been watching me for any amount of time, I have been laying out for you guys what is actually going on in this country. I've been showing you videos where people are talking about how the socialist justice system is being attacked by the liberal left, the Socialist Democrat Party. For years, they will force a case into the judicial system. If they don't get what they want, they'll wait a year or two, go to a different area in the country, a little bit of a different story, and push for the change again until they get the right judge that will interpret the law the way they want it. And now they've got a building block, and then they'll push it a little further. We have come so far with what the Constitution of the United States says that if you ask most Americans right now, they'll tell you that an illegal alien or an undocumented person has due process in the United States. They'll tell you that someone born on American soil by the Constitution has the right to be here as an American citizen. That's how far we've gotten, folks. Now, if you're new to my channel, you may not have known, but YouTube demonetized me because if you can't tell, I'm a little snarky. Plus, I'm educated. And thirdly, they don't really like it when people speak truth. So if you'd like to row in my boat, folks, if you'd like to see content where people aren't afraid to say what all of you are thinking at home, then look at the top of comments, pray about it, and send what you can to help support us until we're finished fighting it out with YouTube. Yeah. They'll tell you that a judge trumps President Trump. That's what they'll tell you. That's how brainwashed they are. And can you blame them when you have public school teachers who are social activists fighting with ICE one minute and in the classroom the next? What do you think she's teaching? How do you think she's presenting American history? And when you see dark brown people flying Mexican flags, wrapped in Mexican flags, fighting the police, that's not a protest. That's not even a riot. That is an invasion of a foreign army on American soil. It should be treated as an act of war, President Trump, since unfortunately, again, you got some duds in your administration. So let me repeat that for the people in the back of the bus. You're wrapped in a foreign flag, be it a Venezuelan flag, be it a South African flag like I saw recently flown at a protest in Chicago, whether it's in a Mexican flag. You are a foreign actor. You are part of a militant group from a foreign country that is now attacking United States of America. And as such, we should respond as if this is an act of war. End of discussion, folks. It is truly that simple.
The United States was awake last night, concerned about our law enforcement officers. Pete Hegseth was involved. Everybody was there. What can we do to bring peace? What can we do to bring stability? What do we do when we have guys like Hakeem Jeffries standing up in front of the world and saying it's okay to write kill ICE, it's okay to throw things at law enforcement officers, it's okay to do that? That's not okay, not in America. We have rules, we have laws. When people are murderers and rape consequences, but those statements put out by Newsom and Karen Bass is absolutely ridiculous. because what we need is action right now. I mean, be people that are leaders for once. And let's not go back to 2020 when they were burning down the city of Minneapolis and you had people like Tim Walz encouraging it. I mean, this has been going on now by Democrat politicians for years, and that's why Donald Trump is in the White House. He's the only guy who fights for every single American.
And I believe that. I believe that President Trump is fighting for Americans and trying to bring peace. But folks, when you have people that only understand violence, peace isn't going to work. These are illegal aliens, undocumented foreign citizens. You have foreign-born, undocumented, illegal foreign citizens on American soil destroying federal property. Now, let me ask you a question, just a simple 5th grade civics question. Who is the federal government? Drop it in comments. I'd love to read you guys' answer. Because the real answer is it's you and it's me. We fund it. We are it. If you didn't know this, you can park anywhere that's a federal building. Like you can leave your vehicle there. You can car ride from there. You can go in and use the bathroom and the facilities there because that federal building is technically public property. So when you see these yoo-hoos and these yahoos and these militants wearing their backpacks, telling other people, that's enough, go get them, and chanting out the officers' names inside of the federal building, those are foreign adversaries. This is an act of war. And as soon as American citizens realize that, as soon as our federal government gets it through their head, this is actually what we expect from you, President Trump, is for you to treat this as if it was an act of war. And if some American citizens get caught up in it, then okay, I'm okay with that. Go to federal prison for a little bit. You know what? Prison did me great. Maybe it'll help you too.
Get back! Get back!
We see you for what you are, a terrorist organization. ICE, out of Paramount. You are not welcome here.
And because some of you are busy and you don't do what I do for a living, you are unaware of the fact that right now there are riots in Germany against the far-right movement that wants to expel radical Islamic terrorists from Germany. In fact, I'm going to let you listen to this communist woman use the word comrade in her discussion.
100 people have come to this demonstration in the centre of Berlin, close to the parliament of the city-state, to show their solidarity with, their support for a group of people they're referring to as the Berlin Four. That's 4 individuals who've been told by the government of this city that they are going to be deported by the 21st of April. That's 2 weeks today. Why? Because the government here says that they are not conducive to public good, public safety, because of things that the government accuses them of doing over the course of the last 18 months or so. I spoke to one of the representatives of the many different movements that are supporting this Berlin Four. This is what she had to say.
There's a lot of attention on the Berlin Four because of how blatant a violation it is within European freedom of movement. But there are so many others. There are so many Palestinians and Arab and Muslim comrades who are subject to the same thing.
There are riots going on right now in Paris, France, in Britain, in Ireland. All riots class over the same topic, illegal mass immigration, an attempt to replace the actual citizens of countries with a whole new citizenship. People that come from countries that are cesspools, that are socialists, that are communists, that are controlled by Islamic radical militants. Now, I want to show you something that's going viral right now, so fully expect to see this on Instagram, TikTok, and X tomorrow. A Mexican national brought her infant to a riot and now wants to sue the LAPD for using tear gas against militant illegal aliens that are assaulting federal employees. I can't make it up.
Eyes is starting to go viral. So let's read about it and let's read some of the comments. Breaking, Democrats are now demanding charges be brought against LAPD officers for using tear gas on a crowd that included a baby, despite the crowd actively assaulting ICE agents. And here's the photo so you can get a good look at it. Now let's read some comments. Tim Young says, Democrat tactic, bring child to a violent riot, then when the children get hurt, use them for propaganda. Law and Order says, shouldn't have rioted and brought your children. Glorianne says, the mother is responsible for her child's well-being. If she cared about her child, she would not have brought it to a riot. That was dumb. Yeah, I tend to agree. You don't want to bring children to a riot.
Now, let me be the first one to tell you that this is child abuse and child neglect. This mother should not only be arrested for those two crimes, her child should be ripped from her grasp. Because once she got there and realized the lay of the land, so to speak, she should have swooped little baby Gonzalez up and runned it back to Mexico. But no, she stayed while they're dispersing tear gas from the militant, undocumented immigrants and the Antifas and the hidden CIA agents in the group. She stayed. She stayed with her baby. These are the type of people that they tell you would be good for your country. Okay. And then on top of everything, did you know that only 23% of American children between the young people between the ages of 18 and 24 would actually be able to go into the military?
Scary. I recently came across a study that said that 77% of Americans ages 17 to 24 are ineligible for military service due to obesity, substance abuse, or various medical conditions.
Due to drug addiction, obesity, mental issues, and health issues, that means 77% of that age group are basically just going to all be on Social Security and disability. They brought in militant, middle-aged fighting men from third world countries into a country that doesn't even have a healthy next generation. So guess what? People in my group, you 70s or 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90 babies, looks like it's going to be left up to us to get all up.